Obviously, I'm Zero Master 117,
And I'm Austin 9568.
and we're here to continue Dissidia the Labyrinth. Now, the last time we brought up Toonami while we were going on a rant about Cartoon Network.
We'll get back to that shortly, but to continue on with the boomerang part.
No, Toonami was first, right?
I'm
talking about what we were talking about.
No, we started with Cartoon Network first.
Boomerang.
Then we switched on to Boomerang.
Oh, now we're on Toonami.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, back to Toonami. For those of you who don't know what Toonami is basically a cartoon syndicate that they used
basically to show off anime and stuff like that.
For those of you, excuse my French, simpletons who have been living under a rock for the past couple of years, anime is basically a certain kind of Japanese cartoon. I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to watch anime for yourself. Yeah, like I said, simpletons. Sorry, this juice is getting to me, man. This punch. Anyways, yeah. For those of you who know what anime is, you probably do by Dragon Ball Z or Naruto.
Or also One Piece. Yeah.
And for those of you who really want to get old school, Ryo Kenshin and Inuyasha.
And for those of you that might also know the show, Zatch Bell or Lupin the Third. Or Cowboy Bebop.
I think it's time we do this thing.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Got stuff together.
Yeah. Anyways, as you can see, my friend here is playing Golbez versus a level 1 Garbraneth. And last time we told you that this is a modded version of it. We won't put it in the title because you'll tell by the way we're playing. And also remember, last video, the webcam isn't on, so hey, it's the Hex Girls. I haven't seen them since that one movie.
Yeah.
From Scooby-Doo.
The one movie that got pretty dark. But wasn't that Zombie Island?
Yeah, it was Zombie Island.
Yeah. Zombie Island was the darker one.
Yeah, that movie was extremely dark for a Scooby-Doo movie. But we're going off topic.
Yeah.
Basically, like we said before, Labyrinth, we're going to be doing it modded. Also, yeah. Whatchamacallit, reasons and stuff, and Toonami. That's where we were.
Yeah.
Basically, Toonami was a block on Cartoon Network that showed anime, and there were some animes that never got shown because either licensing rights or either censorship. Some of those animes you might know as Jojo Byaku no Kyobin. Sorry if I butchered that name to the fullest. And some of you might know it as JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently JoJo has two names. Obviously the Japanese name and, well, the one I just said. Bizarre Adventures. The one they were going to show was the only JoJo released in America.
Which is Stardust Crusaders.
And for those of you who don't know what Stardust Crusaders is, we'll get to that after we get off of the Toonami topic. I think you should go for Warrior of Light.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. What is Stardust Crusaders? Again, we'll talk about that later. What is Toonami all about? It's about anime and cartoons that average young kids can't watch. Oh, hey, Link. What are you doing in Dissidia?
Yeah, the basic purpose of Toonami was to show off anime that wasn't really shown in the West.
Yeah. Like Prince of Tennis, which came on for only a little while. Still kind of pissed me off and disappeared. Oh yeah, get wrecked.
And for some of you that have like the unbelievable amount of time to stay up through Adult Swim, you would see at the end of the Adult Swim block, they would show about 2 episodes of Inuyasha.
which always kind of pissed me off. But nowadays they actually show only one and a couple of other enemies, like Ghost in the Shell. I think you need to do the party battle now if you want to unlock the door. See, 1 against party card, party battle. Yeah. All right. Now that we've gotten Toonami out the way, let's move on to JoJo Byoku no Kyumin. JoJo Byoku no Kyumin, or Bizarre Adventure, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, talks about the Joestar family and their bizarre adventures. Why did I make that joke?
Anyways, the most famous part that some people have already seen is Part 3, Stardust Crusaders.
And it's most famously known for this meme. For those of you who don't know what the meme is, go on Know Your Memes and type in Zawaldo. Zawaldo is basically
the Japanese romanization of the world.
Dio stand. And that thing is broken. I mean, seriously. It's not as broken as, say, some of the other stands, but it's still up there in tiers of brokenness. I mean, seriously, the guy can stop time. And summon steamrollers. Seriously, he can summon steamrollers. It's very, 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 very weird. Like, where he gets his steamrollers from, I have no idea. Like, does he jump in the air and they magnetize together? Anyways, the only parts I know about, but my compatriot knows about all of them, only parts I know about is Part 1, Phantom Blood, which talks about Jotaro Kujo's great-grandfather, known as Jonathan Joestar, the very first Joestar in the long line of JoJos who succumbed to the JoJo curse. Well, not the very first Joestar that succumbed to the Joestar curse. In other words, basically, Jonathan gets an adopted brother known as Dio Brando, whose father died from a sickness which he caused. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dio basically poisoned his dad to go live with Jonathan. And George. What happened was, after that, Dio started to poison Jonathan's dad. And, well, let's just say things took a turn for the worse.
He burned Jonathan's dog, poisoned his father,
kissed his girlfriend,
and basically started turning Jonathan's life into a living hell.
Not to mention, he became the first vampire that's actually canon in the JoJo series. That one guy he hit with the wine bottle doesn't count. He just wanted to test it out.
And if you want to get picky, you could say the Pillarmen were the first vampires.
But they don't show up until Part 2, which I'm getting to. In other words, Dio Brando is basically...
He's Captain Douchebag.
Yeah, because I, Dio, should know a guy when I see one. Yeah, Dio's a prick. And then Jonathan said, screw logic, I'm gonna kill this guy. With the power known as Sen no Kachyogo no Hamon no Jutsu. Sorry if I butchered that phrase terribly. Sorry, what I was trying to say was the might of the ripple. And can you please explain the ripple to them? Because I can only explain it in one phrase from Antfish, the Bird series. You're punching with the power of the sun. Now please unsymbolize it.
Okay. The ripple, or as some people would like to call it, Hamon.
Or Sendo.
Yeah, or that. Is
get the coins. We need those so you can do the party battle again.
It's basically a fighting style based on breathing. When the person breathes, in simple terms, they charge up with a mystical energy that basically has the power of the sun. This Hamon power is deadly to undead creatures, specifically vampires and zombies.
Not to mention zombie crocodiles.
When a zombie is touched by this Hamon power, they proceed to melt. Literally, they melt.
I mean, really, this stuff is creepy. When I'm talking melting, I'm not talking flesh falling off and stuff.
Like, we're not talking about Wizard of Oz.
No, we're talking straight up melting like metal. Like, these guys just straight up melt like metal. And they'll probably be like a goopy puddle of mess. Seriously, it's weird. Take the boot, Onion Knight. Even though he didn't kick him.
Fuck your shit.
Oh, get buddied! Hey.
Nope. Anyways, back to JoJo's.
On to part 2. I will explain from part 2 to 3. He will take over from part 4 to 8. In part 2, it takes... Oh, we never... Spoilers. Jump cut to the scene after this one. We will not put an annotation. You'll just have to jump cut to around 13 to like the 13-minute mark.
Yeah.
Anyways, starting now. Okay, screw the 13-minute mark. 14.
Yeah.
14's good. Basically, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 2, Battle Tendency, takes place around Jonathan Joestar's grandson, Joseph Joestar, or as some of you might know him as, the psychic crazy guy with a Tommy gun that comes out of nowhere. Anyways, Jonathan doesn't learn about the Ripple until very later on in life. Anyways, oops, my bad. Joseph ends up finding out that his grandfather had died at the hands of the creator of the Stone Mask. The Stone Mask was created by the Pillarmen. Who are the Pillarmen? Cars, ECDC or ACDC, because that's actually how it's spelled in Japan, ACDC, music references, and Wham or Wamu. Yeah, I don't get this, music references. Anyways, jump cutting to later on. Joseph wants to master the Hamon, but he can't unless he learns from a relative, because I'm going off what I know in my head. He has to learn from a relative of William Antonio Zeppeli, aka his grandson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to learn from William Antonio Zeppeli's grandson, Shiza, or Caesar Zeppeli. Caesar Zeppeli takes him to Venice in order to learn from Joseph's mother. Yes, Joseph's mother abandoned him with his grandma. So now it's basically this way. When they go to the island and find out that Joseph has 2 rings inside of him, one by ACDC and one by Wham, correct?
Yeah.
These rings are poison rings. Now crap, I'm running out of time. These rings will kill him in a month, so he kills Wham and ECDC with the Hamon. So after that, Wham has a heart-to-heart with Joseph about telling Joseph about the heart of the warrior with, Caesar. Screw it. Skip to the 16-minute mark because I'm about to get into depth. Anyways, yeah. ECDC and Wham put these rings inside of him because Joseph got cocky and said, I can get rid of these in a month. And so after the month was almost up, Caesar let the rings float away with the antidote ring. And long story short, what do you think Joseph got his headband from? Anyways, later on down the road, he ends up running into a Nazi scientist only known as von Stroheim. Von Stroheim is, he's a guy, a Nazi. Nazis. I have no idea how to get into this. I really don't know how to get down into this, really. Nazi science. Yeah, anyways, von Stroheim and JoJo end up running into the Pillarmen that's been causing all their problems and ends up creating the demise of Jonathan Joestar, Cars. Not to be confused with that Pixar movie. Anyways, yeah. Remember, skip to the 16-minute mark, because I'm almost done. I won't spoil Stardust Crusaders. Anyways, long story short, Cars gets the Super Aegis Stone, and Super Aegis Generitamon. He uses it on the True Stone Mask, becomes a god, and, well, Joseph sends him into outer space. Yeah, turns him into a living mineral. I mean, look up JoJo versus Cars. Well, Joseph Joestar versus Cars. Literally, the guy sends him into outer space. Like, look up the final battle of Battle Tendency, and the guy just sends him straight into outer space. It's freaking crazy. Anyways, I will not spoil Stardust Crusaders. Those of you who want to learn where these memes come from, like Bree and the poses, you will have to watch Stardust Crusaders yourself. It's on Crunchyroll. Man, I'm tired of that. You want to explain Stardust Crusaders to Part 8?
Huh?
You want to explain Stardust Crusaders all the way to Part 8?
Okay. Stardust Crusaders is the third part of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventures series, where the main character, Jotaro Kujo, along with his grandfather, Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, the guy from Part 2, he's still alive.
Along with his companions, Noriaki Kakyoin,
who tried to kill him,
Mohammed Abdal,
yes I am,
Jean-Pierre Polnareff,
whose name was changed to John Eiffel Polnareff due to musician references and westernization.
And a dog named Iggy.
Like Iggy Sparks. Yeah.
Anyways, the basis of part 3 is that Dio comes back.
Yeah, guys, he's still alive.
And also, spoiler, along with attached to Jonathan's body.
Yeah, apparently he stole Jonathan's body. Creepy, ain't it?
This causes a popping up of people's stands, preferably the ones in the Joestar family.
What are stands?
They're basically I think a subcategory of the Ripple.
How can it be? Because Dio doesn't have the Ripple, and neither does every other person they run into.
Well, I think it was like a something with the Ripple.
No, that's Star Platinum, just Starfinger.
Yeah. Anyways, these stands are basically avatars made of mental energy.
Willpower.
Yeah.
That stuff that Kirito used to kill the guy from Sword Art Online.
Anyways, a person can either be born with a stand or created with a stand arrow, which we'll get to that later.
And Part 4. Yeah. And Part 5. But that gets really, really tough. Anyways, I'll take over from here. The whole premise is Jotaro needs to kill Diego. Whoa.
No.
Spoilers. That's from Part 8.
Jotaro has to kill Dio in about like a month or something.
2 months.
Yeah. So they travel on to Cairo, Egypt, where they have to kill Dio. If they don't, Jotaro's mom, Holly Joestar, will die.
Yeah. Holly's gonna die in a month.
So that's basically the entire plot of it.
On to Part 4. Now this is where the stand arrow that we mentioned comes into play briefly. You mind explaining the relationship of the certain characters?
Okay. In Part 4, Diamond is unbreakable, or
Diamond is not crush.
Or that stars our new main protagonist, Josuke Higashikata, and his Josuke's stand Crazy Diamond,
Shining Diamond, according to All-Star Battle,
has the ability to repair objects. The only
Yeah.
downside is that he can't heal. That Josuke can't heal himself.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Anyways, we travel to our new location, the city of Mario.
Not Mario. Morio.
Yeah, Mario. Where that's where Josuke lives. In this part, we are dealing with a murder mystery of sorts.
Yeah, of sorts.
Because in Mario, there is a serial killer known as,
Yoshikage Kira.
yeah,
And his
Yoshikage
stand?
Kira.
Kira Queen.
We'll get to Yoshikage later, but
You just needed to know his awesomeness.
yeah. Basically, Kira is a killer that has not been caught.
How? No one knows.
Now, during like the first chapter, Jotaro arrives, and get this, Josuke is Jotaro's uncle.
Zawardo! What? But this can't be. Jotaro's older than him.
Yeah, the Joestar family tree is just weird.
Mind explaining how they're related?
Let's see. Josuke is Joseph's illegitimate son.
We're hearing this illegitimate phrase a lot. Does Geese Howard have anything to do with this?
No. Anyways, Josuke, being Joseph's illegitimate son, is for some reason the uncle of Jotaro.
However that works.
Anyways, Jotaro comes to Morio to find out that there are stand users in there.
And what does Jotaro have Josuke do? No, seriously, I don't remember.
Yeah, they're basically finding out different stand users and attacking them to uncover the mystery of this strange killer. Through this adventure, we have our, secondary characters, Koichi Hiroshi,
I always thought it was Hirose.
yeah, Okuyasu, and Rohan Kashibi. Yeah.
But I refuse to believe that that's his name.
Anyways, they are basically allies to Josuke after some odd situations and stuff like that.
They beat the crap out of each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's basically the entire plot summed up for part 4.
Now, mind going into deeper depth about Yoshikage Kira?
Yeah. Yoshikage Kira is a serial killer that has been living in Morio for about a long time.
Yeah, it's not really. Is it explained how long it is?
Well, off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But anyways, he's basically lived there his entire life, where he kills women by guess.
Huh?
His stand power basically allows him to turn anything that his stand touches into a bomb.
That's not fair. And would you look at the time? We shall come back to you with more on Yoshikage Kira and episode 3. See you then.